Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you're all doing fine this evening and your weekend is off to a great start. I am enjoying some Haunted Bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli, as is the tradition here. And it's great to see so many folks already showing up. Let's see what the old specs on so I can read your names. And we got Big Dave, Tony 513, Corvette Jim, Street Glide Piper, Codger Jim, JMZ 56. Fantastic crowd so far. Paul the Piper, Ron Hardcrackers, good to see you, Ron. Kevin Berenger, Cliff Higgins, how you doing, Cliff? Patrick Grant, Signalman Tony from Rhode Island, how's it going, Tony? George Tiedemann, Taciturn Richard. All briared up. How you doing tonight, John? Great to see so many folks out so quickly, so early on in the show. I was noticing when I was setting up. Tell me if you see this, but the lighting appears warmer. Like it's almost got like a yellow tint to it tonight, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why. I don't think anything's changed, but the tone just looks a lot warmer to me. I like it, but I don't know why it's happened. And, you know, I'm afraid that I'm going to turn blue in a minute. I don't know. Aussie E. Piper. Good day, Mick. Jeffrey Feinberg. Howdy to you, sir. Boris the Piper. How's it going tonight, Boris? The U is different. Thanks, Texas Piper. I don't know why. If it's annoying, I'm sorry, but I've been tanning. No, Tony, I haven't. Maybe it is that strange moon glow, Codger Jim. Could be. Name that pipe. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Armchair Piper. Hello there, Ed. Yes, I'm very orangey. As long as I don't turn green, we'll keep an eye out for that. Michael Case, how you doing tonight, Michael? Christmas Spice and an old marksman. Oh, you have a cold. Sorry about that, Michael. I wish you well. Hope it passes quickly. Bona Piper, hello there, Christian. Good to see you. Fishwife Piper, hello. Yeah, it kind of does look warm, John, and I kind of like it. I mean, for you know, as cold as it's been the past couple days, this is, well, I shouldn't say that. It was actually quite warm yesterday, but today was cold. It's kind of a nice effect, but I have no idea what happened. It's nothing in the camera. I haven't changed any settings on the computer. The lights are all the same, so I really don't know why this is different. None of the bulbs are out or anything. So, I don't know. Anyway, I look jaundiced. Well, that's not good. Oh, Kevin. I'd rather you not call me that, thank you. Armchair Piper. I look aglow. I like that. That's much better than jaundiced or what Kevin Berger said. I have, Mick. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, it's been a good year for me. Happy about that. Driver update on the camera? I haven't done anything to update the camera, Mike. Oh, good to see you, Briar Blues, by the way. Yeah, this is an old, what is this thing? Is it a Nikon, I think? It hasn't been connected to anything that could update it in quite a while. And I haven't done any updates on the computer. Anyway, we'll sort it out. I'm not too worried about it. Warmth of Christmas spirit showing up earlier. I have lost some weight, Big Dave. Thank you for noticing. No, Tim, I actually was laughing earlier because I saw that I was supposed to do some sort of an expose on the murder plot against Don Lewis. I know nothing about it, Tim. Blue Dog Piper, good evening, Eric. Star of the East, very nice. RJ Lionheart, how you doing, my friend? Oh no, Jim. Corvette Jim had his house painted and the fumes attacked his sinuses. That's terrible. Hey, Kirk from Florida, how are you tonight? I remember when I was a kid, we'd paint the house, or my grandparents would have the house painted, and we were for some reason, we would cut up onions and leave them in bowls around the house, and I don't know what the point of that was. I guess it was supposed to absorb the smell or something, but I don't know why it would be. Oh, Kevin Berenger, I should probably do a video about it at some point, but I don't like bragging. I mean, it's a lot of people struggle with weight loss, and it's not an easy thing to do. I struggled with it most of my life, and I think I stumbled on something that just really works for me. It may not work for everybody, but yeah, I could talk about it at some point. It's no secrets, though. Move more, eat less is the bottom line. And this is probably not good, but for weight loss, it's good for other things. Vodka martini tonight with, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but those are jalapeno stuffed olives. So it's a dirty vodka martini on the rocks. The rocks have melted away. And it's jalapeno stuffed olives, which I was hoping would be a bit spicy, but so far has just kind of been a pretty reasonable dirty martini. The vodka is, I think it's Bond and Blair potato vodka. Interesting flavor. Good point, Kevin. Good point. It's not bragging if I'm helping, and yeah, I'm seeing other folks want to hear the story. So okay, I'll do that like in a Sunday video or something. I don't want to do it during a live stream. Texas Piper's got Haunted Bookshop in Aroma 673 with Yingling Oktoberfest. Woohoo! Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Just clowning with IHRG and my compass poker. Tim, you always give me something to think about. Oh, I hate Roger Goodell, of course. Of course. Yeah, Big Dave, I'll tell you one secret that I tell people at work and they laugh, but I'm dead serious about this. That one of the biggest things that I did over the past 2 years is I stopped eating at the cafeteria at work. The food there is horrible. It's just, some of the worst food that you could put into your body, and it's easy to get, and it's not cheap. It's actually quite expensive, but it's a lot easier. You want to get out of the house quick. You don't want to pack a lunch. There it is. But it's terrible food, and I really think that was about half the battle for me. It's just not eating at the work cafeteria anymore. Street Glide, you had to bring up the buffing video. I love you guys. I hope you know I really do want to do a buffing video. What I should do, and I won't, let me put it this way, I will do the weight loss video and the buffing video before I do the video I'm about to describe. But what I should do is do a shop tour video where I walk you around this basement and explain to you exactly why I can't do the buffing video right now. No, it's funny. It was funny, Street Glad. I appreciate it. Oh, I don't blame you on that, Ron. I've actually often reheated coffee, but I'm far from a coffee snob. Ah, okay. So the McClellan anniversary has made its way to Tom, and he then delivered it to Doug. Wonderful. Going to share it at the Christmas meeting December 18th. Very nice. Very nice, Doug. I'm so happy to hear that. Briar Blues, I promise I will not do that. No, Paul, it's not Speedo. You see this street glide? You created a monster here. Big Dave, I do not know. I haven't seen any ads for Happy Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown. I sure hope it will be. Mearsham Mountaineer, hello. Hope all is well with you. Waiting on his vintage Hilson Bolero 206 from eBay. Very nice. Uh, you know, Tim, Tim Fournier, I love you, Tim, and you always make me laugh, but you're much more up on pop culture than I am. I have no idea who Carol Baskin is. So as soon as this is over, I'm gonna be Googling this. So speaking of the tobacco getting out to Tom and getting over to Doug, I just want to update you. Big success last week with the auction. I did a video about it. I'm not going to go into all the details, but we raised over $3,000 now because I've gotten some additional donations that came in after the fact, including one very kind anonymous donation that was sent to cover the shipping, which I greatly appreciate. Everything is currently shipped. If you haven't received a tracking number yet, it's just because I didn't have a chance to update the last couple today. But everything is in the mail, with the exception of one item, which Armchair Piper Ed and I realized that. Well, I got a post office story to tell you first, but just to cut to the chase, we're not very far apart from one another, so I'm actually going to go visit Armchair Piper Ed tomorrow and hand him his tobacco. So that'll be nice. It'll be nice to see Ed and maybe smoke a pipe or two with him. So I went to the post office on Wednesday with full intent of everything going out that I had. I had it all boxed up beautifully. I get up to the counter, and the guy just starts like rummaging through my boxes, saying, "Well, that ain't gonna work, and that ain't gonna work." I'm like, "What's wrong?" He said, "Oh, you can't mail those; they're too small." And I've never had this problem. And what do you mean they're too small? He said, "Well, the stickers won't fit on them." I had two envelopes. Let me show you one of these envelopes. And this was stuff unrelated to the auction, but it was mixed in with it. Two envelopes like this. He said these are too small to mail. These are bigger than a postcard. A postcard would fit inside this. It's a lightly padded envelope. This is too small because the sticker won't fit on it. What happened to stamps? I was really upset about this. So I had to bring home 3 of the packages they just wouldn't accept because they were too small. And now I've had to, I brought them home, I repackaged 2 of them, I got in touch with Ed and we decided, the smoking lamp will be lit. And maybe lit. Looking forward to it, Ed. But the other 2 I had to repackage and take back, and it was kind of silly. So anyway, they went out today finally because I had to go buy boxes. I actually had to. Anyway, I was a little angry at the post office today. My wife and I. Oh, that's a story. My wife and I drove over to the post office, and she's letting me out to run in, and she says, "Should I go in with you? Like, do you need somebody to keep you calm?" No, Kevin, they were not post office envelopes. I actually bought those off of Amazon. But yeah, I don't see an issue. And I've used those envelopes before as well. And by the way, all the boxes that I had because people had sent me something in those boxes, whether it be a business or a friend. So it's not like they'd never been through the mail. So I don't know if things just suddenly changed. I just don't get it. But Doug Owen. So I obtained a Dunhill Briere on eBay, grossly oversmoked, thick tar on the rim, removed most with alcohol and saliva, but still has black stains. Any advice for removing the black without sanding? Doug, the best thing I found for that is Murphy's oil soap. I just glob it on and let it sit for 20 minutes and then use a damp paper towel and wipe it off and just keep repeating that. And it will slowly come off. Now it is gonna dull the finish, but you can just buff it out and it's fine after that. Is that the Dunhill that you had sent me some pictures of before? Just curious. Someone left a note bigger than the package in the mailbox telling you that the package was too big for the mailbox. John, that's hilarious. But the orange tin is gone. What the heck happened, Kevin? That's a little frightening. So I could turn green. We'll just have to wait and see. Sailor, I think you're right, because at least the one package was going to Canada. And that one is based on the dimensions of the box. So I was kind of annoyed by that. Time of the month. Yeah, Paul, I guess it was. The post office inspires that in me. Kilted Piper Steve and Miss Kathy. Good to see you guys. You got hold of an a-hole. Yeah, well, the thing is, this guy, it's a small local post office, and this is the guy that I've dealt with many times, and he's never been a problem before. Although, I tell you, this is the guy, I think I told this before on a live stream. I was sending another pipe up to Canada, and I used to write on the customs form, tobacco pipe. And he looked at it and he said, "Is there any tobacco in the pipe?" And I just thought that was hilarious because, no pipe smoker is going to pack a pipe and put it in the mail. But he was dead serious. So I've changed it now. Now I write smoking pipe, no tobacco, and I underline the word no. And hopefully that helps with customs and so on. He saw that today, and he spent about 3 minutes staring at the computer screen and looking back at the form, and then finally he said, "I'm not sure you can send this to Canada." And I said, I've sent quite a few pipes to Canada. It's never been a problem before. And he kind of shrugged his shoulders, said, "Well, if you think so." I don't know. Maybe he got a talking to by his boss and was told he had to do things differently. Good question, Big Dave. Has anyone had snow yet this year? We sure haven't. Cherokee Red, yeah. Yeah, Doug, give it a shot. It really does. In my experience, that's the best thing I found for that charring. Not charring on the rim, but the buildup. Tim, I was going to email you, and I forgot. There's a bit of an issue with your shipment. I don't think Daniel's going to be on tonight. But let me say this anyway, because I'd like you guys all to join me in praying for Daniel's father. This is Daniel Leslie. His father underwent open heart surgery earlier this week, and that happened between the time that Daniel had put some tobacco up for the auction and Tim bid and won that tobacco, and then Daniel was supposed to ship it. So it hasn't gone out yet, but I think he's got a fairly good excuse because he's been kind of tied up being at the hospital with his dad. So let's give him another week on that, Tim, and I'll let you know as soon as I get the tracking information from him. My apologies about that, but guys, please, all Daniel's a contributor to many live streams. He's got a nice channel of his own, and we certainly all know him here in the YTPC. So let's. All right, guys, sorry about that. Let me know if you can hear me. Orange Mike is back. Sorry. So what happened was I forgot to plug in the laptop, and I didn't notice the warnings that pop up saying you're gonna lose, the battery's gonna die, and then all of a sudden I saw the final warning just in time to not be able to save it. So anyway, we're back. We're orange again. I don't know why. I'll sort that out at some point. But sorry about that. Where was I? I sound like I'm inside a fish tank. That's not good. It might just be the filters catching up with me. I know I'm yellow and orange again. Let's just live with it, guys. Put a new wick in the smoking lamp. So I don't know what I was doing. I was complaining about the post office or something. I don't know where I was when that kicked in. So if anybody remembers, let me know. I was talking about Daniel Leslie's father. So yeah, we all know Daniel Leslie. Let's take a moment in the coming days to just say a prayer for Daniel and for his dad and for his family. Hopefully all is well. I haven't heard from him since I believe it was Wednesday that he sent me that email. And again, Tim, I apologize for not getting back to you sooner. It's just been a very hectic week. Better than being haunted bookshop Kermit Green. There you go, Ron. Not a color I'm familiar with, but I'm sure it's quite a vivid shade of green. I do have to figure this out. I'm a little worried that it's intermittent like that. That means it's probably not a setting, but anyway, we'll see. I don't want to play with anything now. It did crash once I started bashing the Postal Service, Kevin. That's a good point. Uh, so I started to say that go to the post office was a story in its own right, other than my experience there, because I'm getting ready to. It's about, I don't know, 3 o'clock maybe. I had gotten things boxed up and all, and I said to my wife, "Yeah, I'm going to the post office. Do you need anything?" And she said, "Well, maybe I'll just go along with you." And well, that was nice. It was nice to, because she drives. She gets car sick if she's not driving, and it was nice to spend a little bit of time in the car with her rather than drive by myself. And then she let me off, as I told you. And then I got back in the car, and I'm thinking, well, let's go home now. And she says, okay, first I want to go to Lowe's. I didn't realize I was going shopping, but yeah, we got home about 6. And you know what we bought? Nothing. I stopped at the liquor store and I bought some whiskey. So I'm not drinking it tonight. I also bought these olives. That's why I decided that the jalapeno olives won over the new rye whiskey. And you're going to ask me what I bought, and I do not remember. But tune in next week, I'll tell you. I don't think pinching the top of the screen could do it. No, Paul. There's an external camera. It's not the the webcam. And the fact that it changed automatically, Paul, I don't think it's any of the settings. But I will. Sailor's comment about the Postal Service was deleted? What? Hey, Cliff, it was great seeing you, buddy. Have a good dinner. And we'll chat soon, my friend. Oh, don't get me wrong, Jim. I get car sick when my wife drives too. It's just that she refuses to be a passenger. Good point, Nina's dad. It could have been Macy. Yeah, we did Lowe's, and then we went to Home Depot. This was a quest for Christmas lights, and I could. I don't know how much I should go on about this. So we have shrubs outside around the front of the house, and she's got these net lights that go over the shrubs. And for years we had these incandescent, where the bulb would go out and half the string would go out, and you'd have to figure out which bulb was bad and then put a new bulb in. And they were multicolor and they were fine. But then last year she finally said, nope, I'm going to buy all new ones. And she bought new multicolored LED lights. So I was happy with that. It means I didn't have to find the bulb. The problem is, and this is really strange, they're all like in a line. So it's like all red LEDs and then all blue LEDs. And just kind of crazy. So we didn't know this until we were putting them up last year, and I guess we could unplug them all and mix them up. But in the interim, she's decided that she wants white now. So she now wants white LEDs to replace the colored LEDs, but they have to be bright white, not warm white. And there's different densities of lights. I didn't even know this until today. So she wants to get a particular, X feet by Y feet with 150 bulbs. It has to be that. So we went to 2 stores looking for them. Neither one had them. So I promised I would try to find these online and order them for her, because that's what you do. I mean, I love her dearly, and I want her to be happy. And And if this makes her happy, then that's just fine. But boy, if it was just me, I'd put a wreath on the door and call it decorated. I know, Sailor. I know. I do not understand what's going on at the Postal Service. It doesn't, nothing they have done makes any sense. And they apparently just raised the rates as well. Is that really true, Tim? She tried to drive with the club attached to the wheel. Oh, Street Glide, couldn't she wait until Thanksgiving? My goodness. She's one of them Hallmark women, isn't she? I always do sing that, Tim. That's my Christmas tree stringing song. You're probably right, Voodoo. They're probably all lined up offshore. There you go, Jim. Just let the snow pile up and call it done. You got that right, Texas Piper. The only thing worse than putting up the Christmas tree is taking it down. I hate that. Oh yeah, Doug. Yeah. I'll tell you, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, he had Christmas decoration down to a science. They had a big bay window in the front of the house, and he had boards that he had stapled the lights to, and these are those old-fashioned screw-in bulbs. And the boards were sized so that you'd lay one down, you'd put the two up on the side, and the one on the top would slide in, and it was done. And you would plug it in. Now, of course, you had to check and make sure the bulbs were okay, and if one of them burned out, you did have to play find the bulb. But since they were all lined up, it was easy. You would just start at the beginning, and you'd unscrew, and you just kind of move down the line. So it was a lot easier. But I often think about him when I'm doing Christmas decorations, and my wife, and again, I love her dearly and I want her to be happy, but she's got some pretty crazy ideas about Christmas decorations. I think I told you last year she had a tree that has 600 LEDs on it, and she doesn't think it's enough. And this thing is blinding. Kilted Piper, Steve, you're a man after my own heart, definitely. Phil Rivera, how you doing, Phil? Good to see you there. And Little Fat Morgan, I don't think I saw you earlier, Todd. Good to see you, buddy. Monclaw Gansdam, how you doing, Mike? There you go, Tony. That's a great movie, isn't it? $2K. Glum Chum Piper, hello there. Yeah, we've done the cut tree, we've done the tree lots. We actually have switched to an artificial tree. It's a nice one, but it is artificial, and I was resistant to that. I figured if you're going to go to all the trouble to have the darn thing, it should be a tree, But I've kind of adjusted to it. Ah, Voodoo, glad you got the Escudo. Everything else is on its way. Ah, yeah, my wife doesn't like the flashing Christmas lights either, Doug. I kind of like them. And I have to admit, I've been known to slip a blinker into a string of lights just because I like them and it drives everybody else crazy. No, I haven't done the sweet lights in Hershey Street Glide. We should. We should. That's something that I haven't done yet. I think my wife has. You don't do the decoration thing, Jim? There you go, Meerschaum Mountaineer. Yeah, my mom loved Christmas and Christmas decorations. She was a real tree person. She didn't want to have an artificial tree. So, the benefit of a real tree is you got to take it down because it starts to, fall apart on you. Oh, I know, Kevin. I hate putting the lights on the tree. And we put our tree in a corner, so why does the back have to have lights on it? I would be perfectly happy to just zigzag back and forth, but no, it won't look right. You gotta go all the way around the back. So I gotta pull the whole thing out, and we have to walk around it, and then I have to push the thing back. Really, Phil? That's very touching. Tumbleweeds for a tree. Huh, it's the thought that counts, right? Yeah, trees have gotten really expensive too, Steve and Kathy. I'm not surprised that, and with everything, with all the inflation and everything, I'm not surprised that they're running that high. No, Doug, she goes straight to the frying pan. She doesn't mess around with a rolling pin. Yes, Andrew, they must be even. That's right, Monclud. You can't miss a spot with that many lights. The old silver trees, yes. Oh, that's a shame, Voodoo. It's always sad to see something like that happen. $200 and you cut it yourself? Wow. I'm sorry, paying 200. I wouldn't pay $200 for a pine tree that I could plant in the yard. That is crazy. That's a nice memory, Codger Jim. Enjoying a pipe by the light of the tree when the kids are in bed. Texas Piper is asking if there are some vulcanite stems just too far gone past OxyClean and sanding, and how can you tell? Look at the button. I mean, at least in my experience, if it's not chewed through, you're probably okay. If it's got a lot of tooth chatter and there's like really deep dents in it, you might have trouble getting those dents out. Um, but if the button looks okay, it's just dirty or just um, oxidized, you're probably going to be okay with it. Oh, I remember those ceramic tabletop trees, Voodoo, with the little like plastic inserts, almost like the light bright things that would slip into little holes in the ceramic. Sailor's been smoking English blends all week, smoking Pegasus tonight, and the Nick kid is giving him a hard time. Yeah, Scotch will work. David Charlesworth, if you're asking me, it's the Matches Memorial Friday 7 Ellie. I'm going to switch it up in a minute because I'm getting to the bottom. Yeah, absolutely, Voodoo. The button can be repaired. So it's not like it's beyond help, but he was asking if you just wanted to sand and OxyClean, what should you look for? And that would be the thing that I would pay attention to on an eBay pipe. If I didn't want to do anything but sanding, I would pay attention to the button. But yeah, you can repair it. And of course, I forget who asked the question, but you could always get a stem made for it. So I'll tell you about my favorite little Christmas tree ornament. And this is really cheesy and chintzy and everything else, but a neighborhood friend of my wife's made this tree for her. It's made of baby food jars, and if you can imagine baby food jars laid on their side and like formed into a pyramid, and the back is made up of the metal lids to the baby food jars. She poked holes in them. She filled the jars with like a silver garland stuff, and then she stuck a light from a string of Christmas lights into each of the holes that she poked in the metal thing. And you plug it in, and it's this multicolor. The silver tinsel kind of helps the color diffuse within the jars, and it's a really neat effect. It's just this like glass pyramid with all these colors in it. Not the most beautiful thing to have in your house, but I just kind of like it. I like that it was handmade. I like that she has passed away, sadly, and it's a memory of her. She was a nice woman. I got to meet her before she passed away. I like that a lot. Now that's one of the things that I put a blinker in, so I haven't seen it in a couple of years. Back when women didn't leave their husbands and get cash. Those were the days, Tim. All briared up smoking meerschaum now. Test winning blends in all pipe types. I can. Well, that's good advice. David Charlesworth, what is your opinion on Rossi? I hear Savinelli owns them now. Yeah, I believe that is true, David. Savinelli. I believe Rossi is basically I don't want to say Savinelli second, but I think it's Savinelli without the fit and finish. And we got a couple guys on here that would know better than me. Doug or Mike, maybe you can weigh in on the Rossi question. But as far as I've heard, Rossi are perfectly good quality pipes. They just don't have the aesthetics that Savinelli might. Same shapes and all that. Lord Hogarth, you nursed the tree through Christmas with gin. I love that. Well, gin, juniper berries, pine trees, why not? Really, Tim, that's fantastic. You're going to discuss your book with the church group. Very good. Congratulations on that. Stem and briar has literally thousands of stems, all shapes and sizes. I'll have to look into that, Voodoo. Corvette Jim is confirming that Rossi is owned by Savinelli. Thank you, Jim. Doug, there was a company that used to cut and box real Christmas trees in the 70s and mail them to the East Coast. $200 plus freight. Wow. Yeah, Monclaw, they're not exactly seconds. They're just not finished as well, I think is the point. But the internals of them are as good as the Savinelli. And the Briar is as good. Oh, Michael Case, the steering shaft. It's not going well, to be honest. I'm just having difficulty with the dealer, and I'm stubborn, so I want to resolve the difficulty and find out if they're really as bad as I think they are, so that I can write a letter of complaint. I should just go to a different dealer and ask them to order it for me. Oh, Kilted Piper Steve, when he was a kid, all decorations for the tree were handmade. We had a lot of handmade decorations when I was a kid. We had a lot of store-bought ones as well. But my mom was really into handmade stuff, so we had a lot of that stuff. We had a handmade nativity scene and things like that. And it was nice, you know, it gives it a nice feel to Christmas. And of course, there's all the memories of the things, you know. Even as a kid, you remember last year you made that. Doug says Rossi's are made in the Savinelli factory. Very good prices at very good pipes at reasonable prices. Almost identical to the Savinelli shapes. Retails for about $80. Yeah, they seem to be a real bargain. Michael Schenkel, good to see you, buddy. That's right, Boris. They just put an 8 on the front of the number. So you can even figure out, you know, if you want a Savinelli, what the Rossi would be. Are you serious, Phil? So she was trying to root a Christmas tree? Yes, Tim, I took the club off the steering wheel. Hey, Portsmouth Piper, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, Mark. You got it, Michael Case. Yeah, Doug, it's all aesthetics. And, you know, if you like aesthetics, that's fine. So I am actually going to be switching to this fellow, which is a Savinelli this. I can't remember the number. I think it's a 211, but it's a poker. And I'm going to have some Boswell's private stock. And there's a reason I have this. Private stock, this was a suggestion of my friend Jack Kurtz, and I really like it. It's a very good vapor. And you guys know, I've said a million times, I'm not really a Virginia guy. I do like vapors, and there's, you know, a few of them that I really like. And this is one of them. This is probably in my, you know, if I had to make a list of 5 vapors, and I'm not going to do that, this would be on that list. So the reason I got this is Boswell's includes a 1 ounce sample when you buy a pipe. And I got a box from Boswell's today, which is always reason to celebrate. I broke my I'm not going to buy any more pipes rule, which I break frequently. $3.11. Thank you, Doug. Oh, David Charlesworth, vapor is Virginia Perique. Sorry. Sorry to be using lingo. Yeah, this, I don't have many pokers. I assume that's a poker. I think that's a poker. And this was one that was given to me by my buddy Christian Bonapiper. And I love this pipe. I really like it. I enjoy smoking it. It's great to clench. It's a great driving pipe. Yeah, Mon Claude. It's called Boswell's Private Stock. It's real hard to find on their website, but it is there. Phil, I've always called it a burper if it's a burley perique. Booper sounds silly. So I got to tell you about the box that came from Boswell's today. I'm not going to show you the pipes. I'm going to actually probably show you on Sunday. I'll do a video about this, but I was talking to my buddy Jack, and Jack is a big Boswell fan. He has, I don't know how many Boswell pipes. I'll ask him. I'm going to see him on Sunday, and I'll ask him how many he has, and he'll tell me he's never counted. And I know you're watching, Jack, while you enjoy some honey whiskey and smoke, probably smoking Haunted Bookshop in the Spaniel custom built, if I know you. So we were talking about pipes and Boswell pipes, and Jack and I have, I don't know, probably about a year ago now, we got a pair of Boswell's version of the Bing's Favorite. The reason we got those is Jack and I were talking about getting a pair of pipes, and I mentioned that I liked that shape, and he said, well, I don't have anything like that. So we got two of them made, and I kept one and he kept the other. And Jack's more of a big pipe guy. He doesn't like, I'm more of a small billiard, and he likes the bigger, hold it in your hand kind of pipes. So we were talking the other day, and I wanted to get a pipe for Christmas, something that I can sort of think about as a Christmas pipe, although I'd probably smoke it maybe like from Thanksgiving on, something like that. And he was thinking about getting a new Boswell, and I said, hey, why don't we do another set? And I said, this time you pick, and I don't even want to know what it is, just I trust you to work with Boswell, and they arrived yesterday, and man, are they beautiful! And I'll show them off on Sunday morning. I'll do that, but I'm gonna drive out to see Jack on Sunday afternoon, and we will have our first smoke in the new pipes together. So I'm really looking forward to that. This is going to be a great weekend. I'm seeing Armchair Piper tomorrow and seeing Jack Kurtz on Sunday. Couch, how you doing? You're not late. You're just not early. I don't know what that means. Anyone going to the K. Woody Trunk Show at Park Lane tomorrow? Not me. Didn't know about it. There's also a fly tying show in New Jersey. I don't remember exactly where. It's not Somerset anymore, but I'm not going to that either. Yeah, Eddie, you can commission from Boswell. Curmudgeon Piper, how you doing, Doug? Skin and bones guy. Yeah, I've decreased a bit. Uncle Phil Seller, how you doing, Phil? Haven't seen you in a while either. Great to see you, buddy. Not half the man I used to be. I'm not. Yeah, Tim, he's the one that's got that problem with the Queen of Hearts, isn't he? And I am actually spending Thanksgiving by myself. Well, I have my 2 dogs with me. Hatcher Grant has 5 or 6 pokers. One of them is a meerschaum poker with 2 stems. Ah, cool. Fly tying show in San Francisco this weekend. Really? Hmm. Oh, a tie flying show. I don't know what that means, Phil. Well, Tim, if you want to give me a call, we can we can do a phone turkey dinner together. Corvette Jim has 28 pokers. Wow. So I will tell you that this thing I did with Jack, I've done it now twice with Jack. I've done it twice with Couch. Um, you know, deciding to get twin pipes. There's something really cool about that. It's always nice when we do this a lot. We send one another pipes. Uh, we use pipes as gifts because we're all pipe smokers and we know that's going to be appreciated. But there's something really neat about sharing in the creation of that pipe in a sense. I mean, obviously the maker is the person that's creating it, but you have some input into the design. You talk about what kind of pipe you want, or maybe you just say it's your turn to pick, like Jack and I did. Uh, and then when you've got that pipe, it's just there's a connection there, not only between you and the pipe maker, but also between you and the buddy that you went into it with. It's fun. I recommend that experience if you get the opportunity. But don't ask me because I'm not buying any more pipes. No, Clarence Wood, I'm not having the Hungry Man special. I'm actually not a bad cook, believe it or not. Although I do have a significant issue with injuring myself when I cook. I typically either cut myself or burn myself, but I am seriously considering making a duck for Thanksgiving. I mean, turkey's fine. I'm not going to make a whole turkey for myself, and you could do a turkey breast or something. But I'm thinking about making a duck. David Charlesworth, I think in my experience, I agree with you. Virginias tend to be a thinner smoke than Burleys. Um, I don't know if that's general opinion or not, but that certainly has been my experience. I agree, Steve. We should do that. So any other bachelors for Thanksgiving? Tim and I are gonna are gonna do a Zoom Thanksgiving dinner. Well, Michael Case, the cousin has a farm with 55 porkers. That's That's almost... I don't think anybody's going to be able to top that. Chinese turkey, that's right, Tim. I wasn't thinking about that when I thought about duck, but yes. Waffle House. No. Oh, John, you might be in on the Bachelor Thanksgiving. That sounds ominous. I hope all's well. Cut the head off the duck so it's not smiling at you. Yes, Clarence. All right, Jim, thank you for joining us tonight, Corvette Jim. You have a great weekend too, buddy. Couch, you gonna join us for I don't know if we're really gonna do this, guys. If there's enough folks that want to do a Zoom call on Thanksgiving, I'll see what I can do. But Andrew, what I have traditionally done for years is I make a giblet gravy and my wife won't eat it. So I wind up giving that with some of the dark meat from the turkey because my wife doesn't like the dark meat of the turkey. I make the dogs a special thing out of that, and it's great because I put a little bit of kibble in their bowl. I put that on top. They eat it like crazy, and then they sleep for hours. So doing a pot roast instead. Gotcha, Eddie. Can of ravioli. Yeah, can do it. Hey, Street Glide, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a good one. No, Eddie, I didn't buy the Thanksgiving Day blend this year. I just didn't get around to it. To be honest with you, it just came and went so quickly that I didn't even get a chance to notice it. Ron, drunk duck sounds fantastic. Honey glazed spiral ham. I never liked turkey growing up. I just really didn't like it. And it turns out the reason was that my family overcooked it and it was always dry. So about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years into our marriage, I had seen, actually maybe it was a little bit longer than that, because what triggered this was I saw the Alton Brown brining the turkey show on his Good Eats series. And this thing has completely changed my life. You can look it up online. There's YouTube videos and stuff. It's Alton Brown's turkey brine. And it's, pretty simple to do. You just have to plan in advance. You make the brine, you put the turkey in the brine, keep it cold, and then cook it the way he describes it. So you put it in a really hot oven for a period of time. You get the outside kind of crisp, and that locks everything in. And then you lower the temperature and you cook it. And you don't cook it for that long. I mean, that was one of the problems. My mom used to cook the turkey. Like, she'd sometimes put the turkey in the night before in the oven. So anyway, that sort of changed my whole opinion of turkey, and I loved it ever since then. And even things like just getting a turkey breast or something like that, I like it a lot more since we've been using brines. Really, Sailor? I've seen those 100-year-old Chinese duck eggs. Just never. I don't know. Are they really good? Oh, Uncle Phil, I've been wanting to get a roast goose for Christmas forever, and the only way to get them around here is to order them, or I suppose to shoot them. But and I always forget to put an order in time. Yeah, I love Alton Brown, and he's great. And something that my buddy Mark in Rhode Island turned me on to. Alton Brown actually started something with his wife called Quarantine Kitchen, and it's a YouTube live stream that he does. He was doing it every week. I think it's become more intermittent. And the idea behind it was once a week they were going to cook a meal and sort of take you through it. And they decided that they were going to do a cocktail first. And it eventually turned into them drinking too much and doing a really lousy job at preparing the meal and stuff. But it's funny. Adult language, not for everyone, but it's a pretty funny thing. If you like Alton Brown, you might want to check that out. Gilted Piper, Steve, and Miss Kathy. I have been wanting to try deep fried turkey forever and have never done it. Smoked turkey is very good. B. Conrad, good evening to you. Good to see you, buddy. And Groove and Piper. Hey, Cody. Glad to see you tuning in. Doesn't matter how late it is. They taste better if you had a half bottle of scotch first. I thought that only worked with haggis, Seller. Oh, you've seen a Portsmouth Piper? Yeah, it is funny. And occasionally you learn something too, but it's mostly just funny to watch the two of them interact. His wife is really a lovely woman who seems to match his personality very well. Where he's very outgoing, she's a bit more of an introvert, and yet she's still comfortable with his craziness, and it's great to watch them. Oh, Michael Case, I would be very happy to find a blue carbuncle. Oh, Alice's Restaurant. Yeah, I grew up on that, Tim. Every Thanksgiving. And the WKRP Thanksgiving episode is the best. Yin and Yang describes it, Portsmouth Piper. Indeed. Need more than a third bottle of scotch to enjoy the haggis. I'm reminded of Mike Myers' joke in, I think it was So I Married an Axe Murderer. I think that was the movie where he said that all Scottish cuisine is based on some sort of a joke, some sort of a practical joke. Oh, Big Dave, is this the Thanksgiving episode with the knock knock jokes? Because the Bob Newhart show Thanksgiving where they get snowed in the cabin, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I remember laughing at that when I was in grade school, and I saw it just like 2 years ago, and it was just as funny. So while there's a bit of a lull in the chat, I wanted to mention that Jay Mouton is once again doing his auction for children. And it's amazing to me that it was a year ago that he did the auction that was specifically for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It doesn't seem like it's been a year, but I guess it has. So he's once again doing an auction, and this time he's actually going to split the proceeds between St. Jude's Children's Hospital and Shriners. So both really fantastic charities, and boy, those kids really need help. So he's going to be doing a live auction on December 10th, and he's going to be starting it at 7 Central, which I think is 8 Eastern, I think. But anyway, to support that, other than showing up and hopefully getting to bid on some stuff, I am going to not do a live stream on December 10th, and I'm going to let Jason have the time. I don't want to compete with him. I don't want to take anything away from that effort, because it's really for a good cause. So I'll talk about it more as time goes on. But guys, you were really generous last week for Justin Aldridge's family, and I greatly appreciate it. But I hope that your wallets get refilled by December 10th, and you can share a little bit of love for these kids at Shriners and St. Jude's, because it's really important charity. St. Jude's is very close to my heart. My grandfather was a very big supporter of St. Jude's, and used to talk to me about it all the time, even when I was a little kid. And it's just something that's been instilled in me over the years. So I'm looking forward to that. Jason's already got stuff up on his channel about the different things that are being auctioned off. He's got some fantastic stuff. So look to that. I'll be mentioning it again as we go forward, but I just wanted to let you know that December 10th I won't be here, because Jason's going to be doing his auction. You're right, B. Conrad. I mean, Jason is an unbelievably good pipe maker. I mean, he's come along so quickly, and I can't believe how accomplished he's become. But then you see his paintings, and you're like, wow, where did that come from? Groovin' Piper is smoking some C&D Redburn in a Series 3 7LE 644 KS. Not familiar with C&D Redburn. Tim, are you doing a turkey song? I don't. As usual, I'm having trouble with the lyrics here. Now, Monclaude, there's a significant amount of oats mixed in there. Danny Thomas was quite a man, yeah. Indeed, Michael. Durian ice cream, uh-oh. That's something I'm afraid of, Andrew. I've heard stories about durian, I just don't know. Straight at Darryl Strawberry? Hey, Scott at the 16th day. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Virginia Burley blend Navy style. Sounds good, Groovin' Piper. I'm going to have to take a look at that. Okay, Tim. This is the Adam Sandler song. I got it now. Friday, December 24th is Christmas Eve. What should we do with that, Doug? There are wild turkeys in Pennsylvania, Big Dave. There are indeed. Rotten onion and sweet fruit. That doesn't sound bad at all, Andrew. So I would like to do a Christmas special. I'd like to do another interview with Santa Claus. I enjoyed doing that. However, I don't currently have a Santa Claus. So if anybody wants to, well, I don't know if the kids are watching, but you know where I'm going with this. Send me an email if you're interested. I need to find Santa. By the way, if there are any kids watching, we're in trouble. Kids, if you're watching, turn this off. I have not tried Boswell's Premium Burley. Name that pipe. Sorry. I haven't tried a lot of Boswell's blends, to be honest. But this private stock is really good stuff. Tim, I think that could be quite wonderful. We could get some I Hate Roger Goodell to Santa. And Tim, I'm sorry that I want to do, we're going to do an I Hate Roger Goodell tasting, and I was hoping to get it in early November, and then the auction thing crept forward, and now it's Thanksgiving next week, and I don't know when we're going to do it, Tim, but we're going to do it. You like the Christmas special, Big Dave? Well, we can't just vote him in, John. You're going to have to poke him and tell him to get in touch with me. Oh, Andrew, you got experience. If you're free Friday night before Christmas, let me know. Yeah, kids are my biggest demographic. That's my nightmare, Michael. Well, the problem with Everett is Everett works on Friday nights, so I don't think he'd be able to do it. Well, that's okay, Tim. They're watching with adult supervision. Ed's having some Boswell's Northwoods. That's one I've had. I've had Northwoods. I've had this private stock. I've had one of their Burley blends. I can't remember what it was called. And I've had a few of their aromatics. Didn't like the aromatics, but I don't like aromatics, so no judgment there. The Burley blend was topped, and I didn't like the topping. Northwoods, Latakia blend, nice, very nice blend, very nice crossover. Certainly one that I could smoke on occasion. And this private stock is fantastic, but I don't know Premium Burley, so sorry. Yeah, I'm no competition for Mortal Kombat, Tim. It's good to know you're adaptable, Portsmouth Piper. Yeah, Doug, Santa is not a curmudgeon. I think you could rise to the occasion, though. Teddy Bear Santa. In all honesty, I mean, the fun of this is not announcing who is actually doing it, so I don't want to call anyone out here or anything, and I don't want anyone to volunteer here, but honestly, if you'd be interested in doing it, it's a lot of fun. It's no pressure at all. If you can just do some ho-ho-hoing, you're in. Send me an email, and we'll work something out. You know, Santa with an attitude might not be a bad thing. Especially in this day and age. I mean, Santa might need to have an attitude. Yes, he did smoke a pipe in the night before Christmas. Because the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. I don't remember the line that came before that, but I remember that line. Merry Christmas, dadgummit. Your wife's. Oh, be Conrad. Speaking of turkeys, I'd love to try any type of bird eggs, whether turkey, chicken, duck, or any kind of fowl. Call it stupid, but I really would. Not sure I understand, Meerschaum Mountaineer. Um, Tim, I don't think Belushi's available. I'm okay with a bad Santa run. Burley double pressed? Where's that from, Voodoo? Sounds good. I forget what he was smoking last year, Big Dave. Might have been Christmas Spice. Well, Michael Case, that's actually a good threat. So if I don't get a Santa, I'll just turn down the lights and read the night before Christmas. Oh, it's funny, Andrew. Curmudgeon the red-elbowed reindeer. Oh, sailor, that sounds awful. Oh, I got you, Meerschaum Mountaineer. Okay. There are a lot of eggs to try. I've had duck eggs and I've had chicken eggs. And the duck eggs were a bit richer. Oh, I've had quail eggs too. I don't really remember the quail eggs as being anything remarkable. Um, but I'm willing to guess that most eggs taste like eggs. But it would be interesting, especially if you could do it side by side. Santy wraps, yes. I remember that skit. All right, we got an elf volunteer from Kirk in Florida. This is starting to shape up. John Cotton double press Burley. So it's one of the John Cotton blends. So that's from what is that? Standard Tobacco. Turtle eggs? Never had turtle eggs, Doug. I would guess they might taste different than chicken eggs, though. The stump of his pipe he held tight in his teeth. Thank you, taciturn Richard. And the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. Thank you. Yes. I'm Peter Piper. Thank you. Yeah, I think the John Cotton blends are from Standard Tobacco, which is the same company that brought back the Bengal slices. OxyContin. Quail eggs, seaweed, and sake. Ugh. The sake's good. I mean, any one of those things on their own, I'd be okay with. I just don't know about mixing them together. Balut, staple in the Philippines. That's not that weird worm, is it? Scotch eggs, when they're made well, are actually not a bad thing at all. Not something you want to eat every day, but they're a nice treat. Oh, it was a quail egg sake shot. Oh, was the egg raw? That doesn't sound good at all. It's my understanding that neither of them is available in the pouches anymore, Big Dave. Just the tubs. Anyone ever had an armadillo egg? Good question, Steve and Kathy. I sure haven't. Ugh. I watched a show on Netflix, and I can't remember the name of it. Don't you love it when I do this? But it was about Chinese cuisine, and it went through 3 different regions in China, and really sort of delved into the history of certain ingredients. Each episode was about a particular ingredient. And it was really fascinating to watch. And I realized as I was watching this that there are some things that I just wouldn't eat that these people love eating. And I'm sure that's true of many, many cultures. You know, it's not just the Chinese, but yeah, there's things I just don't want to eat. And I gotta say, fertilized duck eggs or balut is fertilized developing egg. Oh, eating raw straight. Oh goodness, sailor. No, no. All right, Bona Piper, thanks for joining us, buddy. You have a great weekend. Take care, Christian. Yeah, bats wasn't part of this, Big Dave, but that is certainly a thing. This was actually, there was nothing all that odd in terms of the species that were being eaten. It was more about the parts that were being eaten. So things like pig's blood and lung and things like that just not appetizing to me. Jalapeno wrapped with bacon, that I could eat. I don't know about an armadillo egg, but if that's what you're calling an armadillo egg, I'll eat it. And Tim, I'm not gonna. No. All right, Scott. Have a good weekend, buddy. Quail egg on top of flying fish roe. That I could probably eat, Voodoo. Go new boiled pig fat. Oh, Michael. Beating heart of an eel in salt. You've probably seen I think it's a Japanese dish where the octopus legs are moving. I mean, the octopus is long dead, but because they put it in a brine, it triggers the muscles to contract and it looks like they're moving. Do you like pickled pig's feet for real, Mirsha Mountaineer? That's one of those that I would consider eating. I've just never had the opportunity. Armadillos are mammals and don't lay eggs. Well, thank you, B. Conrad. I've apparently been had by Kilted Piper Steve there. Portsmouth Piper needs a snack. It's going to be a while before I eat again. Oh, really, Mission Mountaineer? That's cool. I will try them someday. You can buy them here. They sell them in grocery stores in jars. That's true, Kevin. But this stuff was considered delicacy, and some of the stuff, like for another thing that they had a whole episode on was fermented pork, where they would basically ferment the meat for a year, and then eat it. And I don't know, that to me, I think I could kill myself with that if I tried to make it myself. Prehistoric piggy feet, French fried eyeballs boiled in a pan of blood. I forgot my spoon, but I got my fork. Oh, Tim, I think you're going off the deep end there, buddy. Blood sausage. I've had blood sausage. That's not quite as bad as, this was, I don't know how they made it, but it was basically like gelatinous cubes of blood. I don't know. I don't remember if they congealed it first and then cooked it, or if they somehow cooked it into the congealed state. That sounds good, Big Dave. Smoked ham hocks and huller beans in a crock pot. Green persimmons. Ron, were you watching The Addams Family tonight by any chance? Oh no, there's a shortage of pig's feet in West Virginia. Well, it covered up the smell. It also helped preserve the meat in some cases. Salt and smoking were available long before refrigeration. We're going to close up shop in a few minutes, but I'm going to load up one more pipe here. Portsmouth Piper says the best food he ever had was when he was in Greece with the Navy. I've never been to Greece. It's a place I'd love to visit someday. I did see some beautiful Greek ruins but it was Syracuse off of Sicily. But I do like Greek food. I don't know how representative, I don't know if it's like Mexican food or Chinese food for that matter in the US, where it's nothing like what you would actually eat in those countries. Oh, I like pickled eggs a lot, Voodoo. I've made them myself. I bought them. I particularly like the ones that are pickled in hot sauce. You know, Steve and Kathy, I've heard other folks talk about the scrambled brains and eggs, and apparently that was quite a delicacy for some. Oh, come on, you're gonna die on me now. I've only got a couple minutes left. All right, I'm gonna show you my embarrassing lighter trick. So, these clipper lighters, for reasons I don't understand, even though there's plenty of butane in them, they will not light. My dad bought me this atomic lighter, which is really useful for lighting. I use it to light the alcohol lamp that I use for retorting. It's one of these things. Pretty cool. Completely useless for lighting a pipe, but you can use it to light the clipper lighter. Yeah, I could have just refilled the Zippo, but oh, Voodoo, I love Scrapple. I really like Scrapple. It's not as bad as people think. It's basically just sausage with some oats in it, and yeah, I think it's delicious. Never had pickled eggplant. If uso is not considered food, it should be, Sailor. Portsmouth Piper talked back to his wife once and has scrambled brains ever since. I know the feeling. Never had that problem, Big Dave, but I don't eat that many of the pickled eggs. Oh, yeah, chitlin slinging. 12 times. Steve Gunn. All right, Meerschaum Mountaineer, you have a great weekend, buddy. God bless you, too. Sriracha pickled eggs. That sounds good, Voodoo. I've not had those. I've had hot sauce pickled eggs, but sriracha sounds very interesting. I like to make the. Well, I'm actually running late. I'm sorry. I did not realize the time here. I like the hot sauce pickled eggs on a sandwich with lettuce and blue cheese dressing, which is sort of a weird buffalo chicken sort of sandwich, but eggs instead of chicken. Anyway, it's much later than it should be. I'm like 11 minutes early, 11 minutes over. Sorry about that. So I will finish up my drink. I'll eat the olives later. But I want to thank you guys all for joining me tonight. It's been fun as always. Continues to be the high point of my week. Okay, Doug Owen likes Scrapple too. You know, Doug, we got a lot in common, buddy. Time does fly, Portsmouth Piper, indeed. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I really enjoyed it. It's great seeing you all and great chatting with you. Tune in Sunday morning. I'm going to do a video to show off these new Boswell pipes that Jack and I got. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do some video when I meet with Armchair Piper tomorrow, and maybe when I meet with Jack on Sunday, and maybe we'll stitch that into something later in the week. I'll be back next Friday. Keep in mind December 10th is going to be Jason Mouton's auction for the children. You don't want to miss that. So you all have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk again real soon. Take care, everybody.